Okay, so time for a quick updated video because I'm sure people will want to know my thoughts on a Sonic movie poster. Gonna be a lazy edited video because I'm still way behind it. Sonic Forces parody. I'm working on it, it's taking forever. Anyway, internet drama around the Sonic Hedgehog movie. But before I go into the poster, here's some other thoughts about the movie.
Has someone just mentioned the Sonic movie?
Oh, and I'm joined today by my old evil dog partner Alex that you might remember from the Level Design Dissected.
Roger! What a glorious time to be reunited once more when we can feel enthusiastic for Sonic again! Did you prepare your resignation for number 8? I already sent mine! Start the music!
Yeah, well, we like our Sonic material to be a bit wacky. So far I'm digging the movie. What we know about it anyway. Now, a big reason for that is mostly because I'm just super disillusioned with Sonic's other media output. Modern Sonic has no direction or identity and is just blindly throwing shit together with no vision or thought. Neo-classic Sonic is better on that regard but has a different problem. It's completely held hostage by the classic games. Classic Sonic isn't allowed to stray too far from the purity and perfection of the classic games, and therefore I don't see much future here either. Other than an endless Groundhog's Day loop of remember Green Hill Zone? Remember Metal Sonic?
You know that idiom, being more Catholic than the Pope? This is how I feel when I see that neo-classic Sonic movement. They start creating rules that are even more strict for some reasons than the actual origin of the franchise. For example, where's that coming from that Sonic characters should not talk? I saw Sonic talking in many media during the classic era, and everyone was fine with this. Sonic Adventure took back and extended the very same world as they created in Sonic 3. It was a normal progression. It's like they just rewrote history to fit their ideology. That's why I don't like games like Sonic Mania much. They are so focused on the ideas of purity that it feels like Sonic is on hormone blockers.
Hormone blockers, yeah. Don't want to rag too much on Neoclassic Sonic. I love regular Classic Sonic, but yeah, Neoclassic Sonic seems to be held hostage by the holy trio of games plus Sonic CD, and then just turn it into an eternal comedy. Mania Adventures was very well made and the funniest of the Sonic comedies, but generally speaking, I'm just sick of comedies, and I want the adventure and danger of the Sonic games to return. You think Neoclassic Sonic would ever do something like the anime movie? With Sonic talking, actual cities and civilizations shown, human princesses, Sonic being sad about Metal's death? Of course not! Neoclassic's always happy, and always comedy, and always Green Hill Zone. Sonic Boom seems to be dead, and I didn't really care for its low-energy dead humor attitude anyway. So the only Sonic media I'm partly hopeful are the comics, and even they are extremely underwhelming so far, but that's for another video. So basically at the moment I have very little regard, respect, or hopes for the Sonic media at all, and I'm just kind of bored by it all. I mean, I'm sure the new card game will be fine, but it's missing a wow factor. But then, bam! Here's the Sonic movie, taking a big middle finger regurgitation of the past, and after endless aggressive pushing for turning Sonic into Happy the Squirrel in Nostalgia Land, all of a sudden we have this monster coming at us, and I have to say, I'm getting kind of a kick out of it. The biggest complaint people have to the poster at the moment is that it's not real Sonic and doing too many different things. Well, after a decade of non-stop, brainless, real Sonic with 2D gameplay, Green Hill Zone, and Classic Sonic shoved down my throat everywhere, especially in places where it makes no sense, if that's real Sonic, then I'm more than ready for some fake Sonic. With cities, guns, and a plot, stuff that the classic games never had, or something. Look, I would have preferred a well-made classic or modern Sonic movie as well. A cartoon, actually written by people who give a shit. Yes, that would have been more lovely, probably, but...
Come on, Raj, you should know that cartoons are a turn-off for most people unless you are Disney. There's a new Spider-Man movie in theaters right now, and I can already tell you it will have a teeny audience. Why? Because it's animation. Regular folks don't watch animations in theaters.
Wasn't there some controversy?
At least a real action movie can get the big crowd. At least a name like Jim Carrey can get some attention. I currently live in a cozy French-speaking town called I Don't Care About Sonic, and you know what? They actually talk about the return of Jim Carrey for the Sonic movie in the news. I was shocked for real. You go big or go home to please the same 20 fans over and over again. I like them having balls better, if you ask me.
I saw that news report, and while you might be right that normies are talking about Sonic the movie, but I can't help but notice in that news report that it's all like, ooh, they're filming a Hollywood movie in our town, a Hollywood movie. It has Jim Carrey in it. I like Jim Carrey. They talk about it like it's just any generic movie with Actor Man in it. It almost feels alien whenever the name Sonic comes up. Anyway, maybe working on a live-action movie, so jarringly disconnected from the rest of the Sonic media, might force the creators out of their comfort zone and forces them to actually put some thought into what they're doing. I'm worried that if they stick close to visuals and stuff that we already have, it's just gonna be another brain-dead, remember Green Hill Zone fest? No more shoving Shadow in there with no motivation or backstory, no more Chaos Zero showing up for no fucking reason, no more Sonic Mania suddenly pulling out the Sonic CD ending out of nowhere, no more membership from game. No, they actually have to create their shit from the ground up and make me care for it from the start, instead of just assuming I'm immediately invested just because they shove a familiar shape in my face. No more Green Hill Zone.
Wanna know something about it? In the new Smash Bros. Game, there are 2 Sonic levels and both are Green Hill Zone. My boyfriend was like, why? Why not the casino level? And he's not even a Sonic fan.
Well, Windy Zone, but it's pretty much Green Hill Zone, yeah. I hated that in Smash Bros. 4 on the 3DS where almost half the levels were all Green Hill Zone or Grassland for Mario and Kirby. Way too many happy grass stages. But off topic, jeez. And yeah, I guess Green Hill Zone is in the movie. But when I say I hate Green Hill Zone, I'm more referring to the checkerboards in your face, bitch, rather than the actual name. Green Hill Zone is now Cowboy Town in rural America. Okay, cute reference. Green Hill does sound like the name of a little USA sheriff's and barbecue town in the wilderness. Fine, whatever. At least I don't see them jam those damn checkerboards in my face. If they're there, they're tastefully hidden. Jim Carrey is Dr. Eggman. Okay, good. I hate how Dr. Eggman got self-aware and slow and boring and became distracted grandpa at worst or generic bland Bond villain at best. At least Jim Carrey will bring in some much-needed physical comedy and more of a zany, aggressive personality rather than I need to pay my electric bill on time dad Eggman. Nothing against Mike Pollock, he doesn't have control over the franchise and he has proven to me that he can do a very great and intense Eggman every now and then, specifically in Sonic X and LEGO Dimensions, so I guess it's largely voice directors to blame, but I just really associate his Dr. Eggman voice with, you know, this, a broken, depressed, low-energy guy who rather wants to watch TV. I always thought he sounded too soft for Eggman, and Sonic Boom and his appearances at conventions and the Sonic Twitter really cemented his voice to me as bored Grandpa Eggman. So yeah, bring in Ace Ventura, the Grinch, Colonel Stars Stripe for a more physical Eggman who believes in himself and has a more high-energy devotion to his madness than modern Eggman ever had. I'm all for it. But yeah, now the big one. This Sonic poster. They got some serious balls here. I don't know what to think really yet. I don't know why, but the first impression I got was of the poster from Gremlins with the black and blue lightning and the obscured creature. It's almost designed like a horror movie poster. With this spooky smoke, Sonic's claw hand, his pose being hunched over. Oh shit, did someone feed a hedgehog chili dogs after midnight? It's an unusual choice.
Actually, this poster reminds me of the 80s a lot. Many codes from the 80s are there. The neons, the cheesy lightning near Sonic's shoes, the 80s bluish color. They definitely tried to get the other crowd being interested in the movie. I also like the association they tried to do with a macho action movie from the producer of The Fast and the Furious, not from the company that brought you the Smurfs.
Anyway, I can appreciate the extreme redesign of Sonic in a way. Look, fans were going to freak out and complain anyway. I mean, fuck, we're freaking out over Sonic 2's sprite being superior over Sonic 3's sprite, or Sonic Adventures model over Sonic Unleashed. There's fights breaking out over minor changes, so screaming fans were going to happen anyway, might as well go big. Besides, this is a great way to differentiate the movie from the rest.
I don't think it's extreme at all. It's actually conservative enough to recognize the character's signature, but it's changed enough to not look too weird in a real action setting. I knew they would have to do it since Sonic is an extremely cartoony character and it will definitely not fit in reality. My fear about this design is for what we can see yet. I really hope they have made a fine job to redesign the face, which means not like in the fan-made movie. That thing was kinda creepy.
Kinda liked it.
Sonic's head is the most illogical and stylish part of Sonic's character design. For the movie redesign, the head shape is fine and gets Sonic's signature. For the face, I expect Sonic to have normal eyes, perhaps a bit bigger, and a mouth that can't move everywhere in his face. I honestly don't see what is wrong about what they have done so far. Feels more like overall disdain for the project to me rather than a bad job.
Well, the project itself and the design are intertwined. Sonic had to be like this because the movie's live action, so it's hard to separate the two. People hating the design will hate the fact it's live action.
And I don't mind actual complaints against unnecessary and arbitrary changes like Sonic Boom's Knuckles, which was the one and only real design problem here. The focus on the blue arms thing was amplified by Boom's defenders to make us look unreasonable because even them knew it was a pretty bad idea to marginalize Knuckles' shape in order to imply personality traits that are totally wrong about him. I don't see that with the movie's redesign. They respected what could be respected for that specific context.
Yeah, it's all about context. I love Sonic Boom's designs initially because it seemed to scream adventure, like it was an anime adventure series. When it didn't turn out to be a dead humor sitcom, I was baffled since the art style doesn't fit that at all. And we didn't like Knuckles' design because of its implications. He looked like a dumb jug, and we were worried his personality would be more dumbed down, which it was. So yeah, to me, design is very relevant to context. So I can't really say if this movie design is good or bad until we know what its position is in the movie. As I said before, so far it looks like he escaped from a lab or something. Mild horror elements going on. And just like with Boom, I kind of want the movie to be its own separate identity, its own thing. The Sonic game series is so much of a clusterfuck at the moment, so for God's sake, just be your own thing.
As for me, I want a cool Sonic. You know, the main reason of the franchise existence. I don't care that a bad experience is as authentic as it can be, it's still bad. I'll take Forces over Boom any days. That game wasn't bad, by the way. Come on, you talk about it like you never played any Sonic games with bittersweet content before. Remember Sonic Heroes?
Heroes didn't waste its potential because it never really had any. Although true, I do enjoy Forces a lot more. It is a nice game. It's just such a painful waste of ideas.
I'm perfectly fine with imperfect projects with good intentions. I can at least enjoy Sonic Forces unlike Sonic Boom that should have never existed. This is not Sonic content. And if the movie does not have a Sonic personality, it should be blamed for this as well. But that we don't know yet. The trailer should tell us what kind of vibe the movie will have. So far the hints are showing us that it's not a movie for little children, which is good. It needs to be charming. So far, let's say I'm feeling optimistic.
Yeah, I'm optimistic too. One last detail I find fascinating, I can't help but notice that every time they mention Sonic's personality in press releases and such, they make it sound negative, like he's called a juvenile delinquent in a press release, instead of the usual he's got a snazzy attitude description. Not sure what that means, but it seems to imply that the movie producers consider Sonic's personality as a negative thing, or at least more of a plot point that he might need to grow past in the duration of the movie. I might be reading too much into it, but I find it fascinating regardless. But yeah, Sonic the movie. It's crazy, it's weird, it's something we didn't expect. Sonic fans don't seem to like it, and funny enough, I consider that a blessing. The series has been too close to the fans lately, and it just led to everything being meta, constant self-celebrating and patting itself on the back and memes, and it just became a shallow self-masturbation party all around. A metaphor for Sonic I like to use in Dissected is that the series always seemed to go from one extreme to the next. One moment you're burning in a desert, the next you're freezing on the North Pole. Sonic the movie might be like freezing to death in the snow, but you know what? After a decade of melting in the sun, at this point, I find this snow rather refreshing. I'm fucking ready for the next step, something new, so Sega, bring it on.
Bye-bye! Let's meet again when they reveal the trailer of the movie! Start the music!